Morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Facebook have changed the way they do live videos, and it was a bit of a struggle trying to get in. Uh-oh. Anyway, we're here now, and we're ready to get started in a bit. Hope you're all okay. Hope you're all all right. Say hello if you'd like a shout out, and we'll get started in a little bit. Nice and sunny today outside. Perhaps you're going to be doing some things in the garden. Hello, Emily. Hi, Willow. Hi, Rowan. How are you both? How are you all, even? What have you done today so far? Anything interesting? Oh, lots more people joining us. Brilliant. Oscar's sat by the door, watching the world go by, ready to go out in the garden as soon as this finishes. Hello, Dad. Hello, Mum. Oh, dear. It's the bank holiday weekend soon, isn't it? It would be quite exciting, but a lot of us are off anyway, and we can't do anything or go anywhere anyway, so it might not be as fun as we once hoped. Hi, Neil. Oh, that was the bar stool going down. I don't want that. That's what I want. I want it to be higher. I'm quite short, so that's why. We've got some lovely art stuff and poetry things for you today, and some more sign language. Oh, that's reminded me, I've made a list of signs to teach you for today. So excuse me while I hop off and get them. Not literally hop off, because my knees aren't good enough for that. Here we go. Right, we've got our sign language ready. Willow was watching Frozen 2. That was a good film. I enjoyed that. I took my little niece to see that. It's quite dark in places, wasn't it? Hello, Daniel. Thank you very much for your story and your artwork. It was brilliant. I'm going to read out your story in a minute. Very excited about this. An email yesterday from Daniel and his mum, and Daniel had been inspired to write his own myth after Tuesday's ancient Greek myth that we read. So we'll start on that. Again, a massive thank you to everyone that's watching the shows. One of the ones that we did last week when we did the poetry of Sue Hardy-Dawson has been viewed about 4,000 times, which is really quite frightening. And we're just getting thousands of views afterwards on the videos and things. So that's really, really lovely. And I'm actually going to be on BBC Essex on Friday at 2:40 talking about the reading realm and our live videos and what we're doing during the lockdown. So if you're listening to BBC Essex, you could always join in with that. Right, shall we get started then? Okay, well, I promised I'd start off with Daniel's story. So Daniel was inspired to write his own myth, a Hawaiian myth called Coral and the Woha Tiki Tiki. I hope I pronounced that correctly, Daniel. And the Woha Tiki Tiki is the masked monster of the forest, and he made a mask as well, like we did with the ancient Greek mask as well. So shall we have a read of his story then? And you can sit back and enjoy it. So it takes place on the island of Hawaii. Kai lived with his family, his mum and dad, and his big sister Carla on the island of Hawaii. Kai's grandfather was called Coral, but he disappeared when he was just a young man. He had been hunting in the forest, but never came home. The mystery surrounding his disappearance had never been solved. Kai's father made Kai and his sister promise never to go into the forest. Every day Kai went fishing with his father on a boat out to sea. One day there was a lightning storm while they were out fishing. Kai was very scared, especially when the lightning hit their boat. It happened so fast and with such strength that the boat smashed in pieces. Kai tried to hold on, but the sea carried him off, and when he woke up he did not recognize where he was until he saw the forest. He was on the other side of the island, and without a boat he must walk through the forest to get back home. Kai used his knife to hack back the branches. It was really hard, and he decided to take a break by a fresh water stream. He drank his fill and relaxed on the forest floor. This forest isn't so bad, Kai thought, and slowly he drifted off into a deep sleep. I see what you're doing there, Daniel. You're trying to lull us into a false sense of security, aren't you? Because listen what happened next. Kai was woken by the noise of a strange bird. It was bright yellow and had a dark blue beak. The bird squawked loudly at Kai, as though it was an alarm bell or siren. Kai got to his feet and looked around. It was getting dark, and he needed to get home before nightfall. Kai started to run through the forest, but the forest seemed to be getting bigger and bigger. There was a clearing with trees that had black fruit the size of watermelons, through which he could see a temple in the distance. It shimmered gold in the setting sun, and Kai was just about to head in that direction when he heard footsteps behind him. And there, a few meters away, was the Woha Tiki Tiki. Legend had it that the Woha Tiki Tiki lived in the forest and came out at night to hunt. Kai was scared. He didn't want to be the Tiki's next meal, so he started to run faster and faster. But the Woha Tiki Tiki got closer and closer to him. In the distance, he could see the hills that surrounded his home. If only there was another way, so the Woha Tiki Tiki would stop running after me, Kai thought. Just then, something zoomed past his face, and then again nearly hitting his left ear. Kai looked across and he saw someone with a slingshot shooting stones. The man seemed familiar. Ooh, who do you think it is? And all at once, Kai realized it was his grandfather, Coral. He waved to Kai and then took up aim again. The Woha Tiki Tiki stopped running and turned to Coral. The monster let out a loud cry of pain and bent down to hold his foot. Coral pointed to Kai and shouted, "Get out of here!" Kai didn't need to be told twice, and he ran out to the forest and down towards his home. Kai's mother and father were holding up torches, looking out to sea when he ran towards them and cried. He told them all about the Woha Tiki Tiki and how he was saved by Coral, but they didn't believe him. "There's no such thing, Kai," said Kai's father. "Leave him be," said Kai's mum. "He's probably taken a knock to the head after what happened today," she continued. After some dinner, Kai went to bed angry that no one believed him. Carla, Kai's sister, told him that she believed the story and promised never to go to the forest. "That was the scariest story I've ever heard," she said. Well done, Daniel. What a brilliant piece of writing. Very exciting. And Daniel, I think I'm okay to show it because it doesn't show your face. Daniel sent this mask that he made in the style of the Greek theatre mask. So that's his version of the Woha Tiki Tiki, the creature of the forest. Brilliant work. Let's all give him a round of applause. Well done, Daniel. Super duper. Lovely to hear some stories. Such a good piece of artwork as well that you've sent in. Love that. Isn't it brilliant? Wow, very clever. Okay, now on Tuesday, I was going to say this week, but it's not really this week because we haven't had the whole week. On Tuesday, I started teaching you some different sign language for food and drink. So we're going to carry on with some of that today and see what you can remember. Are you all standing up ready to go? Are you standing up? I hope you are. Mrs. Cowie, standing up ready to go? Ready to flex those sign language muscles? Let's make a start then. So, food and drink. Some of them are going to be brand new that we haven't done before. Some of them are going to be ones that we did on Tuesday. Okay, here we go then. So we did tea, coffee, orange juice, milk, pasta, new one now, rice. See that? Rice. Okay, so you've got pasta and rice. Can you all do that? Well done if you are. Brilliant. Then we learnt some different sign languages for different meat, didn't we? Can you remember what meat was? Meat. And we had that when we looked at the grey wolf with mutton in his maw. Mutton is meat. So we had chicken. You do that? Chicken. Pork. Your turn. Sausages. Can you remember that one? That's one of my favourite food ones. Sausages, like a string of sausages you get in the cartoons. New one now, lamb. Lamb. Can you do that? Have a go. Show someone next to you. Do it in the mirror, maybe. Lamb. I suppose it's like horns, maybe. Possibly. Okay, next one. We had one of these at the weekend, and I made a Thai curry last night, Thai prawn curry. So curry is a C, and then like that, curry. See, like that from your mouth, like the heat is wafting from your mouth. So curry. Can you do that one? Curry. I like that one. Okay, we also learnt these two on Tuesday. Cake and biscuit. Cake and biscuit. Well done. And now we've got some new ones to add on to what we've just reviewed. So we've got curry. We've also got, thinking of some vegetables, we've got mushrooms, like that. I suppose it's like the shape of a mushroom, isn't it? That sort of closed cup over it, and then the stalk. So mushroom, cabbage. So this is like the cabbage, and you're chopping it like that. Cabbage and onions. Why do you think that's the sign for onions? Has anyone got any ideas? Perhaps you can put a comment or a like if you know onions. So curry, a new one, mushroom, cabbage, and onions. Well done. And we've got 3 more to learn. So we've got banana, literally like you're holding a banana and you're peeling it. Banana. And then grapes, like a bunch of grapes hanging. You can do it like that. Grapes. Yeah. And the last one is butter. Butter. Yeah. Oh, that's Oscar having a chat with the dog next door. Oscar, shush, shush, shush. Never work with animals, they say. Would you like to say hello to everyone now that you're up and awake and with it? Come on then, mate. Come and say hello. There's a golden, I think it's a Labrador next door, and they always have a chat, don't you? Yeah. Oscar says hello. He's fine. He's had an hour walk this morning, and then I'm going to take you out this afternoon, aren't I? He says hello. He's probably going to go and carry on barking. Anyway, what can you do? Not much you can do. Okay, so let's go through some of those new ones. So, can you remember cabbage? Well done if you got it. Can you remember banana? Pill, pill, banana. Pill, pill, banana. Can you remember onion? Well done. Can you remember mushroom? Mushroom. Can you remember butter? Just like you're spreading butter on a piece of bread. Butter. There you go. And can you remember, last one of our new ones was rice? Rice. Well done if you remembered. Okay, so keep practicing some of those ones. Onion, cabbage, curry, banana, grapes, butter, pasta, milk, yeah, sausages, lamb. Keep practicing some of them, okay? Well done. Now, we have got a lovely poem to read today from a friend of the reading realm called Julie Douglas. And Julie is a children's poet, and she's got a new book coming out this week called Painting Poems, and it's illustrated by someone called Jules Wilson. I'll show you the front cover really quickly. But we've got one of her poems that we're going to read today. And it's all about a dragon. So I'll just show you the front cover. If I can get it up. Da, 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 here we go. Oh, lovely. Yep. Here we go. Here's the front cover then. Oh. Da, da, da. Oh, it's downloading now. Anyway, I'll carry on talking while it's downloading. So we're going to do a poem today called The Dragon's Eyes. And egg is that. I believe egg. It's like a hard-boiled egg, and you take the top off it. Egg, if I can remember correctly. Don't put me on the spot like that, Mrs. Cowie. Just don't do it. So, Painting Poems is out. You can tell I'm stalling for time here because I'm trying to get the picture up. Da 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 do do do. No one will ever know. Oh yay! Here we go. That's the front cover, and you can order it from Jules Wilson's website. Painting Poems, colourful poems to inspire creativity. Julie does a lot of artwork in schools and poetry in schools, so there's lots of information. She has got lots of like practical activities and things on her website. So in the Reading Realm app, if you go into poetry, there's quite a few of Julie's poems in there. And the one that we're going to look at today is The Dragon's Eyes. And we're going to have a go at writing our own one as well. Okay? So it goes like this. You might want to close your eyes and see if you can visualize the dragon's eyes. The dragon's eyes are diamond bright, mirror smooth and crystal clear. The dragon's eyes are dancing flames, full of hopes and dreams and fears. The dragon's eyes are ancient pools, as dark and deep as any sea. The dragon's eyes are wide and wise, and they are staring straight at me. What a twist at the end. They're staring straight at me. The dragon's eyes are diamond bright, mirror smooth and crystal clear. See if you can find a pattern or rhyme in there anywhere. Crystal clear. The dragon's eyes are dancing flames, full of hopes and dreams and fears. The dragon's eyes are ancient pools, as dark and deep as any sea. The dragon's eyes are wide and wise, and they are staring straight at me. Brilliant, isn't it? And in the app, There's a discussion guide to go with the poem. There's games, there's a quiz, there's all sorts. Okay, now, shall we have a go at writing our own version of the dragon's eyes? So while I'm rubbing this off the board, have a think about dragon's eyes and how we could describe them. So Julie describes them as crystal clear as diamonds, as dancing flames, as wide and ancient. Can you think of any write-alongs that you could do with me? The dragon's eyes are. So what can you think of linked to that poem? We need a possessive apostrophe there. The dragon's eyes are. How could we describe those dragon's eyes? She calls them dancing flames, mirror bright, crystal clear like diamonds, ancient, wise. Think of if you were looking right into a dragon's eyes, what might you see? How could we compare them? They might be shining like fire or crackling like fire. Have you got any ideas? Fiery crystals, super. The dragon's eyes are fiery crystals. We could go with that one then, as that's a good start. Shall we go with that one? The dragon's eyes are fiery crystals. Are fiery crystals. And then what else could we say to lead that on? Dark and deep, scary, goggly bullets. Well done, Violet. Deep and dark. Yeah, okay. The dragon's eyes are fiery crystals. Why don't we have shimmering in the deep, deep dark or something like that? Like you've just got this twinkle of an eye sort of shining out. The dragon's eyes are fiery crystals, or glimmering, or flickering, maybe, reflecting. Let's go with glimmering. Glimmering in the deep, deep, dark. Now you'll notice from the poem, the dragon's eyes are diamond bright, mirror smooth and crystal clear. The dragon's eyes are dancing flames, full of hopes and dreams and fears. Did you hear that rhyme scheme there? So we had clear and fears. So we need on our next description, bloodshot, piercing daggers. So the dragon's eyes are fiery crystals, glimmering in the deep, deep dark. And then let's try another one, shall we? We need something that's going to rhyme with dark for a start, but let's put some of those together. Bloodshot, piercing daggers. Let's go with that one then. And we need that possessive apostrophe again. The dragon's eyes are bloodshot, piercing daggers. And then can we think of something that's going to rhyme with dark? Dark. Dark park, no. Lark. Ugh, what else could we do? Dark. The dragon's eyes are fiery crystals glimmering in the deep, deep dark. The dragon's eyes are bloodshot, piercing daggers. Dark park. Something like you could have, menacing like a shark, or don't get too close, they'll leave a mark, maybe. Something like that. The dragon's eyes are bloodshot, piercing daggers. Don't get too close, they'll leave a mark. The dragon's eyes are fiery crystals glimmering in the deep, deep dark. The dragon's eyes are, I think, to fit in our rhyme, to fit in the rhythm. I don't know if Neil or Paul or any of the actual professional poets agree, but that bloodshot needs to go. The dragon's eyes are piercing daggers. What have we got? Dazzling and stark. Yes, trying to find their mark. Let's go with dazzling and stark. The dragon's eyes are piercing daggers. Stark. Left. Oh, dazzling and spark. Stark. Shark. Bark. The dragon's eyes are piercing daggers. I'm going to go with something like something leaving a mark. Their angry burn will leave a mark. Aha! There we go. Let's go with that one. So none of your ideas, basically. Me. The dragon's eyes are piercing daggers. Their angry glare will leave a mark. A mark. And do you see there how we've got that rhyme there? Do you see that? So, the dragon's eyes are fiery crystals glimmering in the deep, deep dark. The dragon's eyes are piercing daggers. Their angry glare will leave a mark. Brilliant! So, all you do for your dragon's eyes poem to write it in the style of Julie Douglas is just carry on with that. The dragon's eyes, the dragon's eyes. So, that's all you're doing there. And then think of that rhyme there. And she doesn't say in it, they're blue. The dragon's eyes are blue. The dragon's eyes are red. The dragon's eyes are yellow. She doesn't say anything like that. She describes them. The dragon's eyes are ancient pools, as dark and deep as any sea. The dragon's eyes are wide and wise, and they are staring straight at me. So perhaps at the end of your poem, there could be a twist as well, because at the end of Julie's poem, they are staring straight at me. Okay, we wonder what's going to happen next, don't we? Is the dragon going to attack the narrator? Is the dragon going to, I don't know, is it going to turn out to be a friendly dragon? We don't know. So that poem is called The Dragon's Eyes, and it's in the Reading Realm app, and it's by Julie Douglas. Now, she's right here listening in. Oh my goodness, how exciting. But my little Twitter friend, Kerry Eccles, and it was her 40th birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to you. Let's all say happy birthday. She is on Twitter as Teacher Glitter, and she does she always shares lots of lovely art things that her students, her children that she teaches, what they do in school, and they're really, really good. But a few years ago, she shared this wonderful piece of artwork about dragon's eyes, and her children had made dragon's eyes out of clay. I'm going to show you how to draw one today very quickly, and then I'm going to show you, I didn't have any clay, but I'm going to show you how I've made my own dragon's eyes. I've got limited colours, but I will have a go. And if you type into Google Dragon's Eyes Key Stage 2 or Dragon's Eyes Craft, you can find loads of things on there. The idea being that if this was your page, that the eye, it's like you've zoomed right in on that eye, and you can see those ancient pools, wise, them glittering like diamonds. So it might actually be a good idea to do your artwork before you write your poem, maybe. But what we want is this rather huge eye to take up as much space as possible. And then I think I'm going to do something like that for the shape of the eye, and then something like that. Maybe. Talk amongst yourselves while I just draw. And then maybe I might carry on that line. I think I would probably here do a thicker line, like his eyelid. Okay, and then I might put some triangular, and it doesn't matter if they go off the page, triangular, oh, live drawing, there you go. And then lots of different shaped scales that take us right off the page. Okay, I'm just doing this really quickly. Okay, if you follow Kerry on Twitter, you'll be able to see her examples. They're much better than mine. Let's thicken that up a bit. Okay, now, when I was doing this earlier, it's really important to think about your colours and the direction of your lines, okay? Because we want to give it an almost 3D effect. And if you just colour it in one colour, then it's going to look rather flat, okay? And I'm trying to make that sort of curved sort of shape. So I'm going to try and use maybe 2 colours for my dragon's eyes, maybe 3. It's quite good if it starts darker on the outside and then becomes lighter on the inside. So something like that. And then what you can do as well is for your scales and things, again, I would personally start darker on the outside. Obviously, your colouring will be much better than mine because you're not doing it with a headset and everyone watching you. Yeah, something like so. Now, I've put on the website day 12 of our journey together. I've put on the website lots of pictures of dragon's eyes so you can get an idea of what they look like. And you might want to think about maybe, so maybe these ones are a different colour here, perhaps. And you might want to think about how you can add a bit of depth and sort of that 3D effect into it. Okay, ta-da, there we go. That's all I've got time for. But what I did earlier, and I'm hoping I'll get a nice big round of applause for this, is I went out and got a stone from the garden and, don't tell my husband, cleaned it up and gave it a wash, and then I tried to find a sort of ovally shaped one, and that's my dragon's eye. There you go. And I just used felt tip pens for it. You do have to go over it a couple of times because the stone sort of absorbs some of the colour. So I probably need to go over that again, okay? And I probably need to make this bit here a bit clearer. But that's sort of one idea you can do. So you could either draw or paint one. You can make one out of clay if you haven't got one. Or if you pop outside with an adult, make sure you're safe. You could see if you could grab a stone and paint one on, or use felt tip pens to do it, permanent markers maybe. If you're using paint, I would suggest you use acrylic paint because poster paint will crack. You could use some poster paint with a bit of glue mixed in with it, but poster paint will crack and dry out, which might give it quite a cool effect actually, like scales. But there you go. There we have it, a dragon's eye. So there we go. Thank you. Thank you. Kerry, I hope that was acceptable and looked vaguely like a dragon's eye and I haven't let you down. So today we read Daniel's Greek myth, which he'd transformed into an amazing Hawaiian myth about a forest monster. Then we learned some of the sign language that we'd been looking at, and we reviewed it and added on some more. And then we had a look at a poem called The Dragon's Eyes by Julie Douglas, and then I showed you how to draw, or some ideas for making your own one. Okay? So hopefully you've got lots of ideas. On the website under day 12, sorry, Oscar's just chasing his tail. On the website on day 12, there's some resources and some pictures that will help you make your own dragon's eyes, okay? And I would love to have some more poems sent in. So you can either upload them on Twitter, we are at the Reading Realm, like so, or you can email them, Ian at the readingrealm.co.uk. Lots of Julie's poems are in the Reading Realm app, and you can order her book, Painting by Poems, Poems to Paint By. I've forgotten in the stress of it all. Let's just see. Did I get that right? Oh, Painting Poems. Sorry, I even showed you the front cover at the beginning, didn't I? Painting Poems by Julie Douglas and Jules Wilson. You can order that from Jules' website. I've put a link up on the website as well. Okay, I hope you have a lovely creative day full of fun. I would love to see some Dragon's Eyes poems, and I'll be able to send them to Julie, and I would love to see some artwork as well. Have a lovely day. Enjoy the sunshine while it lasts. Make sure you're nice to your parents or whoever's looking after you. And I will see you after the weekend, the bank holiday weekend, next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, okay? See you later, everyone. Take care. Bye.